Hello everyone, this is LockOS, and welcome back to Star Citizen IAE 2953 for Argo Day. Also Consolidated Outland, Graycat, and Graycat Industrial. Taking a quick look at the event program here. Origin Jump Works has now left the building. The proletariat Argo Astronautics and Consolidated Outlands has overthrown the bourgeoisie. Origin Jump Works for control of Zenith Hall. And as such, we are now going to ascend up into Zenith Hall, and we're going to see what we have available. This should be a relatively quick day. There is only one little side hall beyond this front here, which makes sense. Argo has taken control of the main floor here. And I do actually own almost all these ships, so this should be a fairly easy tour. Because we have right here the Argo MPUV personnel. This is a little cargo. There's a little ship that has the basically an escape pod attached to the back. So these are the escape rafts, and it's attached onto this Argo MPUV frame. And over here we have the cargo variant, which is a little cargo box with some SU cargo space back here and a single jump seat for a single passenger attached to its frame. And as you can see in is it gonna let me? Okay, here we go. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, it's good. Fortunately, it's all dark in there. Oh well. But it's a little cabin in here for the Argo MPUV. Quite sure that lighting issue will get fixed once the new lighting gets implemented. Alright, so we're going to go clockwise and then go into the center here. First off, we have the Argo Mole. Okay, there we go. Argo Mole. This is the regular edition. I have the Carbon edition, which comes with its own custom pure black skin. And you can use the carbon. You can remove the skin from the carbon and get this same exterior coloration with the bright orange. Otherwise, it's the same between the Argo Mole and the Argo Carbon Mole, just different skins. So down here on this little area up here where the elevator comes up, then you have this this airlock room, which also serves as a engine bay back here, some component access. On either side, you have also the little another set of airlocks. So you have an airlock going into an airlock, and this airlock has its own little suit locker, and it goes into this little side room, which goes into this little chair here. Chair pops out, and these are the side mining lasers on the Argo. Now, keep in mind, this room out here is actually indeed exposed to the elements, so make sure you do wear so you are going to need a spacesuit in order to use this exterior mining cabin. And someone's glitching through the ladder. But here we go. Same mining cabin, by the way, is copied on the other side, so nothing new there. Going up here, thankfully they put a door up here to seal you off from that possible airlock down there. And you get into the habitation area back here. So you have a habitation back here with more component access as well, but you have like your little you have your dining kit. You have a dining room area here, kitchen table, and kitchen. You have more suit lockers here, as well as your bathroom in the back with your shower. And you have your 4 beds, which double as escape pods. So the ship does have a crew of 4, and it is really highly recommended that you at least have 2 people with the ship, if not the 4. But recommended you have the full complement of 4. 1 for the pilot, and then 1 for each of the 3 mining lasers. And there's another mining laser down below that we will get to shortly. we'll go to the mining laser down below, because the pilot does not have access to his own mining laser. So you're entirely reliant on using a third, you're on a second person, to do the mining laser work. And there we go. You have to keep moving after you get down off the ladder. So you have subsystem access here. I don't know if that's going to be implemented or not. It's real component access, but you have your mining laser turret down here, and this turret is fully encased. So you don't have to worry about wearing a pressure chute for here, but you probably would want to anyways. So up here, you have your bridge for the Argo mole. You have your pilot and co-pilot. Now, when you're doing mining operations with the crew of 4, you're probably not going to fly with a co-pilot. You'll have your co-pilot probably mine one of the turrets, but while you're flying around, you do have that, the ability to use a co-pilot. Plus, you don't necessarily have to have all 3 mining lasers active at the single time. Most rocks could probably be broken with 1, if not definitely 2 mining lasers. You might come across some that require a 3rd mining laser in addition, though. It's not common, but it's not unheard of either. And that's the Argo mole. I own one. I love it. I love the Argo mole for mining, but unfortunately, it's one of those things where it's sometimes hard to find someone to play in game. Even though I have even though I don't have like a pathetically small friends list, it just happens to be due to work and some of the messed up things they're kind of doing at our work. My schedule did a 180 on me, and now I am awake when nobody else is, effectively. So it is sometimes hard to get people to crew up with when you have such an odd sleep schedule and all your friends are now on a complete opposite schedule from you. So that is what I do. That is also why I am such a big stickler and why I constantly poke and prod and warn people about the dangers of multiple multi-crew ships. It is entirely possible that you may have a decent access to friends right now who can reliably play the game, but keep in mind in the future, your circumstance might change. Friends get married, they have kids, those kids suck all the time and life out of them. Friend group change, friends like yourself might have a completely unavoidable schedule change, and now you're sleeping in and odd ends of the days, stuff like that. So just keep that in mind whenever you buy these large ships. Definitely come up with a plan and multiple plans to have as many people as you can on your friends list and in the game who might want to do mining, because otherwise a ship like the Mole will become useless to you. I'm not saying you can't use the Mole solo. I have in the past, but it sucks. Now onto a ship that you can fly solo and is quite fun to fly solo. You have, there we go. All right. Yes, it works. The Argo raft. This is a 2-person cargo ship. You can fly this Argo raft solo, by the way. However, weirdly, the Argo raft does not, as standard, come carry with pilot-controlled weapons. However, there are mounts for 2-size-1 guns for the pilot to mount or the owner of the ship to mount and use. So it's not like you're unable to mount pilot-mounted weapons in this ship, like some others that don't have any pilot-controlled weapons. You just have to buy them and mount them yourself. It does not come stock with them. But the cabin up here, forward-viewing cabin, interestingly, it's like on the lower half of the ship, so it does look downward a bit more than upwards, which is fine. Other than that, it has really good visibility. See if I can sit in here and show you it. This is, by the way, similar visibility as to the Argo Mole. Argo Mole has a little bit more than this, but similar visibility all around. And the cool thing is, if you do get a co-pilot for your Argo raft, they can actually, again, help you fly the ship, help you manage systems, but they also have access to a remote turret that actually provides the Argo raft with a decent bit of protective firepower. It's definitely not a ship that you're going to be dogfighting in or want to get into fights with. It's not that well protected. It only has like one turret, and it's not the best. It's not the most powerful turret or the most powerful weapons in the game. So you are going to struggle a bit, but it is well armored and well shielded. So you are going to be able to at least endure some hits while you manage to get the heck out of dodge. Ideally, if you fly with an escort, you should be perfectly fine with this ship if you're going into anywhere that's remotely dangerous. But in the standard system that's really kind of quiet, this is the perfect ship for it. Other than that, you have 2 beds, miniature kitchen, and your own little booth here that overlooks the cargo containers that would be out there once they're you fill them up in those little areas. You also have 2 cargo. You also have 2 little cabinet closets for you and your crew, co-pilot. You also have 2 suit lockers for each member, so you have a total of 4 suit lockers. A bathroom shower combo here as well, and a gun rack, by the way, up there over there. Climbing the ladder up here, we get to the second deck of the Argo raft. You have a tractor beam control and cargo controller terminal up here. I'm not quite sure if it's fully implemented or not yet, but hopefully soon it will be implemented soon for the game. As these racks back here are supposed to be able to carry 32 SCU cargo containers of varying sizes. It's supposed to fit nice and neatly in between the claws on each side. Well, I'll go over in the external view on it to show you later. Other than that, second floor is entirely devoted to cargo access. So, component access rather than the second floor. So, in between the cargo bay back there and all across the spine of the Argo raft is just components. Oh, that's what that OPA's opening. That OPA's the avionics bay. Oh, there we go. So, it's in between these claw-like structures where you can fit the 3 32 SCU cargo containers. So you have 130 SCU, 132 SCU, 32 SCU, 332 SCU, for a total of 96 SCU of cargo in this vulnerable transport. Also note, while it is not the fastest transport in-game, it is probably going to have the most carrying capacity for heavy landing and heavy planets. You have 4 VTOL engines that all rotate, and it's very much supposed to come in, swoop in, use the claws to pick up heavy SCUs, 32 SCU containers, and then lift it up. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention this on the interior tour. The ship does have a small airlock on the side, but these small airlocks have yet to be implemented, so I won't worry too much about those. Also of note, you have 2 size 1 gun mounts down here that I mentioned earlier, was for the pilot. So that is the Argo raft in a nutshell. I like it. I like it as a very much as a entry-level cargo running ship, particularly if you are looking to make fast delivery runs, because picking up and delivering cargo is going to be easy once they get these figured out back here. It's very much supposed to be a fast loading and unloading cargo craft. Now we get to the Argo SUV. This is the tow truck of the Star Citizen universe. Like the Argo raft, it has VTOL engines on the side, except these are even more powerful. You also have up here a cargo bay. That you can use for salvage and or repair parts. Don't tell me this is... So we've had bugs with this, like, with newer ships. Okay, that's a weird, weird, weird bug. Okay, noted. So, SRV, the pilot sits up here, obviously. He's in a little console and display. Again, very similar viewing angles to other Argo ships. Component room back here. And you actually have a hab. You have the pilot's bed right there. Their little kitchenette right here. Got one weapon and probably want to see a tractor beam rack here as well. And you have your suit locker, your bathroom, and you have two little mini seats for your for yourself and maybe your one passenger who is getting towed in the SRV back there. Plus, you have a nice little window to see out the back door to see what's going on in the verse. So, cute little ship. Let's see here. Close. I bet that's going to close that off. Oh, okay, I see. So these man all the different... Well, the sound effects. So that's the lift right there, okay. Am I trapped? Oh, there we are. And we made her daring escape. Yeah, I don't know why CIG, I do hate to say this, I don't know, if you already own the ship, I would keep it, otherwise, I wouldn't buy it just yet. CIG does, unfortunately, lately, some of their straight-to-flyable ships, they don't like to, how to put this, they don't like to test their ships sometimes, for at least for ship sales. They'll just, like, randomly drop them for, like, their big event as, like, their big reveal. And sometimes, they don't put their ships, their new ships through enough, testing in QA, or they don't put enough, resources into, addressing some problems, because, yeah, that might be an issue. Does it affect everyone? I don't know, but I wouldn't trust it. The Argo raft, for almost an entire year, had that same problem, and it wasn't until only in the past, like, couple of patch cycles was it fixed. So, keep that in mind. That can be something that can happen to you. You could end up getting stuck in the Argo raft. Over here, we have Cougar Intergalactic's only two ships, and they are the P-52 Merlin and the P-72 Archimedes. These are both snub craft for the Constellation series of ships. However, you can buy them and fly them separately. However, they do not have quantum drive, so don't expect to actually get far in the verse if you do pick one up and you try to fly this off from a station. I will note that of the two, the Merlin is the more combat-focused of the two. It has the two guns on the wings and then a center-line Gatling gun. The Archimedes is more of a racing version, although it does have 4 guns of the smaller type, so you can also use the Archimedes to fight. But of the two, the Merlin is the cheaper and more versatile option with its array of weapons. The Archimedes, with its center mount, has a air intake. All right, so going back here, we're going to the past the cargo area. And we get to Consolidated Outland, who only has, at this time, 2 series of ships. The Mustang series has 4 variants and the Nomad. They do also have a ground vehicle that we will get showing later, once we get near the Hall of Viewer, but going over the Mustang series, you have the Gamma, which is a racer. Light armament, as it's mostly focused on speed and racing. The Beta, which I want to showcase because it has a really cool feature. Because it actually has a cabin on the back. If the ship would let me access it. Okay, I had to close up all the exterior stuff.
Yeah, they've done a good job. Impressive.
Exit to rear. Okay, that's the one thing about the beta. You have to know where to look to exit to the rear of the ship. But you can. Here you are. The beta has a shower toilet combo as is infamous for Star Citizen. A little bit of a walkway here. You have a little mini kitchenette and a bed. And this is your little cabin that you can sleep in and spawn in while you're out exploring.
Yeah. He wanted to buy something.
And then you enter the pilot seat up here.
Imagine buying one, but it would definitely be fun to use for a weekend.
Okay, here we go. Press Y, and the ship opens up, and we're out. Sometimes you just have to press Y. Sometimes there isn't a good way to find the key binding, but there's the Mustang Beta. It has a nose mount for its weapons. So it just has, I believe, a nose mount for its 2 guns, and I believe that's all the weapons it can carry. It might be able to mount additional weapons on the wing pylons there, but I'm not 100% certain. I do know, however, that the Mustang Alpha back here can mount additional weapons here on the back. Mustang Alpha, for a certain, can mount, in addition to its nose mount, wing-mounted weapons here on either side. So it can actually mount an additional pair of guns. And as a starter ship, I actually highly recommend the Alpha over the RSI Aurora, mainly because the Mustang Alpha is in a much better shape compared to the Aurora. A little bit more modernized, has a bit better features. You can use the storage container back here for storing mission boxes and the like. And then you can close it or open it. However, having this does not block you from using it for trading, so that is a thing. Once they have to do a gold pass on a lot of ships to get them all up to snuff, like with the current standards, but that is an improvement that the Mustang Alpha has over the Aurora series, that you could place mission boxes and the like in here and use it to carry them. Other than that, similar cockpit to the Beta, and you have the little cargo container in the back for the Alpha. Plus, you have the ability to mount an extra pair of guns if you decide you want to upgrade the weapons on this starter ship. Now, my Mustang variant that I love is the Delta. Delta has quite a lot of firepower. It has a nose-mounted set of guns there. It has stock wing-mounted guns, as well as wing-mounted rocket pods. And the Delta is the combat variant. Its armor is supposed to be slightly more stealthier than a regular Mustang, so it's supposed to very much rely on stealth and agility to engage its targets and safely escape than sheer defensive armament or sheer firepower. It's not as good as a dedicated fighter, but it's still a lot of fun, especially if you want a more combat-focused Mustang. Next up, we have the Mustang Nomad, and this is the latest ship from Consolidated Outland. It has 3 size 2 guns, a funky grav-lev landing gear, which can cause some problems depending on where you're at. It's not 100% reliable in all cases. Sometimes it will cause the ship to get blown around in high winds, but it's still reliable enough. And you actually have back here enough space to store a Cyclone or any other number of smaller ground vehicles, including the Graycat Rock. Back here, we have the ability to, again, I believe that's an IAE bug model. I know mine normally works. There's sometimes a bug with the Nomad on a normal day, like on a once in a blue moon, but that might just be with the IAE. Weird things happening. But there you go up there. You have the ability back here to close and open the cargo bay from the rear, and you have a little window out to the back. You have component bays back here, as well as a closet and a toilet. myself. So there you go. Then you have a living cabin back here. Little counter space back here, sink, kitchen, and a nice sized bed and a nice little sized cabin. And then up there you have the cockpit for the Nomad. It's a nice big wide open cockpit, lots of good viewing angles. It is really nice and pretty up there.
They've got some of their classic ships. I've been waiting so long.
And that is all of Consolidated Outland here for their ships. There is a ground vehicle, however, we have to cover. So we're going to run back over there.
Going to the IAE so much.
Seeing it in person is a lot different than I imagined.
Down here we have the Graycat Rock series in PTV and STV. We'll get to that in a second. Normally I would cover that right now, but let's finish up with Consolidated Outland with their hover quad. So Consolidated Outland has the hover quad as its ground vehicle, and like all hover vehicles, it can be used in space, so you do have that going for you. Really, it's a very compact hover bike. It's not like the Dragonfly that has a very long nose. The hover quad is actually relatively compact, so it does make a great ground vehicle if you want to carry it in a smaller vehicle. It doesn't take up that much room. No weapons on the hover quad. That is the thing that it doesn't have, but otherwise, if you need a vehicle to get around the verse, hover quad's for you. Especially if you want something compact that you can toss in any ship. Plus, the hover quad does actually have quite a lot of skins on the RSI website, so if you want to make it your own, there's plenty of skins that you can use to do that. So, last up, we get to Graycat Industrial, or last manufacturer here of the show. Graycat only does ground vehicles at the moment, and likely for the future. They have the PTV, which is basically a golf cart, as recently showcased in the Origin Day videos where they were taking out Ninetales members by ramming into them. We have the STV, which is sort of like it's a mini Jeep, while the Cyclone is very much a massive off-roading Jeep type vehicle. The STV is very much like a small, it's like a Jeep Wrangler. It's like a small two-man Jeep. Nothing. There's really nothing in the back here of note. It's just two people sit side by side. Unlike with the Cyclone series, you don't have a really a lot of room in the back for like an SU size cargo container or a scanning device or a turret. It's just two people to get around in the verse with a little bit more clearance and speed and utility than just a bike back there. Although I do believe there is some storage in the STV. For mining, you have the Rock and the Rock DS. Of the two, only buy the Rock with your own money. The Rock DS is a bit of a pain. Larger wheelbase makes it hard to get into some. It means you can only fit it in like bigger ships, and you actually need two people to man the Rock DS. You cannot man the mining laser from the cabin. You have to mine the mining laser from this exterior seat, which can be a problem in some planets if you're going on long trips, because this exterior seat is exposed to the elements, and you won't be protected while you're mining. But you do, I believe, have a slightly longer ranged laser, or the laser can reach higher up, so in the future there might be a use for this, but really, there really isn't much of a use. The only other thing I could possibly think of is the inventory of the ship. The inventory of the Rock DS is larger than the DS, but or the regular Rock, but it's not. You're not getting that much of an advantage with the DS over the Rock. Oh, DC, not DS. It is the Rock DS. I don't know why this sign has DC. It's spelling errors. It happens. But the regular Rock, if you want to get into mining, is a good option for ground-based mining. You can hover up and mine a lot more of the valuable FPS minables, but on a larger scale. So you can definitely use the Rock DS to mine more of the crystalline elements. They pop up back here. You can pull them out, drop them off in a cargo box back on your ship, and then go out and continue mining with it as well. So this can fit, by the way. The Rock DS can, the standard Rock can fit in some smaller ships. By the way, I think it can fit in a Cutlass, and I know for a fact it can easily fit in the Consolidated Outland Nomad. So it's definitely a good ship if you want to get into mining, but and you want to get out of hand mining, but you don't want to spend all the money on a Argo mole, especially if you don't have the people who can regularly crew it with you, or you don't want to buy the Mist Prospector. Rock DS, the Graycat Rock, is a good option. Now back here, we are already, thankfully, because all the other videos, I do have to admit, were kind of long. We're already at the Holoviewer for this ship show convention, and the only Holoviewer is Consolidated Outland's Pioneer base building area. Believe it or not, last time we had a ship show, we also had the Argo SRV, and the SRV tractor vehicle was actually still a work in progress by the last time we had a ship show back in Invictus. So it is actually cool to see a ship finally get out of the Holoviewer and into our actual ship. So, of note, the Pioneer is a base building ship within Star Citizen. This is what's going to build your extra large structures for your very large outpost for your organization. And because the ship is huge, and you're using it to build extra large structures for extra large outposts, this is very much an org ship. Don't buy this ship thinking you're going to be able to use it solo at all. Just don't. So, if you have lots of money to spend, and you have a giant org, go for it, but otherwise, don't even bother. And with that, that is today's expo here. Tomorrow is Anvil Aerospace Day. It is also Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to all of us here, to all of you in the States, including myself. Do keep in mind, with us being in the state, with that being said, I'm probably going to get to the video very late. I'm still going to try to get the Anvil Aerospace video out tomorrow, but who knows? It's, like I said, with my work schedule and stuff, I could very well be coming home and crashing right away. So I might do, if I don't upload tomorrow, late tomorrow, I might upload a dual upload the following day, going over both Anvil Aerospace and MISC, and I believe it's Mirai. So I might do a joint day on the I might skip the 23rd and do a dual upload on the 24th, or I might record and upload Anvil, and then immediately as that video is processing, go over Mirai and MISC. Anvil, I will say, the 24th between Anvil and MISC and Mirai is going to be a massive showcase. There's going to be lots of ships at Anvil, and there's going to be a lot of ships at MISC. Plus, MISC will be the first time I will be able to see the Hull C in-game. So that's going to be interesting to take a look at that ship, because that's been a ship that's been in development for a very long time. So with that, it is time to say goodbye, and I'll see you possibly tomorrow on the 23rd for Anvil Aerospace. Otherwise, I'll see you on the 24th, where I'll cover Anvil Aerospace and MISC and Mirai. And then after that, come Saturday, it's going to be RSI for the last day of the show. Possibly with that RSI or Arasta mining ship concept that they've been floating around in the Nether. So, Until then, this is LockOS, signing out.